big topic that's been in the news, certainly over the last month or so, is the fact that we've learned that intelligence is telling us that Russia, allegedly, Vladimir Putin, put a bounty on American troops and put our troops' lives at risk. So the question now is, what is Donald Trump doing about it? Is he bringing it up with Vladimir Putin? And what is being told? So Donald Trump did an interview with Axios, a pretty good show, by the way, on HBO. They've interviewed Jared Kushner, a bunch of people in Donald Trump's administration. It's a really, really good show, and if you haven't checked it out, I suggest you do. So in this interview that they had with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, he was asked if he brought up the Russian bounty story with Vladimir Putin. So, Sean, if we could play that clip, have a listen to this.
That was a phone call to discuss other things, and frankly, that's an issue that many people said was fake news.
Who said it was fake news?
I think a lot of people, if you look at some of the wonderful folks from the Bush administration, some of them, not any friends of mine, were saying that it's a fake issue. But a lot of people said it's a fake issue.
There was
we had a call talking about nuclear proliferation, which is a very big subject, where they would like to do something and so would I. We discussed numerous things. We did not discuss that, no.
And you've never discussed it with him?
I have never discussed it with him, no. I would. I'd have no problem with it.
Do you read your written brief?
I do. I read a lot. Really? You know, I read a lot. They like to say I don't read. I read a lot.
I
comprehend extraordinarily well, probably better than anybody that you've interviewed in a long time.
So I find it a little bit troubling that
Brian,
the president.
You find everything troubling.
Okay, so I find it a little bit troubling.
Okay.
And by the way, that's not true.
You find a lot of things troubling when it involves Donald Trump.
I find a lot of things.
You probably find 90% of things troubling that involve Donald Trump.
Okay, that's another one of your stats that doesn't make any sense at all.
That's a total estimation. That's not from a source. You know what that source is? Jason's brain.
Okay, well,
JD's brain.
I don't know.
From JD's brain.
I don't know how your brain works, and I don't know how you come up with stats like that. I don't get it.
That's just based on experiences.
I'll finish my statement, which I started, and then you gave me a stat that doesn't make any sense. But I find it just a little bit troubling, and I don't think I'm alone here. When we learn that there's a good possibility that Vladimir Putin put a bounty on our troops to kill our troops. And in the conversations, particularly recently, that Donald Trump has had with Vladimir Putin, he has not even brought it up. Am I wrong in saying I'm a little bit troubled by that, JD? Is that okay with you?
If you listen to the audio clip, he talked about someone from the Bush administration. He was actually talking about Colin Powell. Colin Powell said it was a non-issue. Kayleigh McEnany. I mean, several people have said this was based.
Kayleigh McEnany. She's the press secretary to Donald Trump.
Several people in the Trump administration, and as well as outside of the Trump administration, have said that this wasn't a big enough. It wasn't a legitimate threat enough to even bring up to the president.
Not the press secretary. Who else said that?
Well, I just said Colin Powell, and there's a couple more.
So Colin Powell is on record as saying that he doesn't think the president of the United States should have even brought it up with Vladimir Putin?
No, that it was a non-issue, that this thing, what Russia is being accused of didn't actually take place.
There are people within
and why would Trump have to bring that up in a conversation with Putin?
Do you really want me to answer that?
No, I mean,
are you asking me that question? Why do you think Donald Trump should bring it up to Vladimir Putin? Well, I'll tell you
Brian,
why.
Several people.
Who? Besides Colin Powell. Who in Donald Trump's administration doesn't think that he should have brought it up?
I got to look at my notes, Brian. I don't have any notes. Yeah.
All right. So
you're not going to believe me. You're going to go with your narrative. You're going to say that Trump is owned by Putin. You're going to say that Trump is Vladimir Putin's lapdog, and that Trump is a traitor to the United States, just like Doug Basham, who's a liberal mindset, who shares the same mindset as you, but you're not liberal, which makes sense. But you're going to say that about Donald Trump, and if I bring up any name, you're going to say, well, they're not credible. They're not credible because your mind is totally made up right now, Brian. You think that Russia put bounty on our troops.
Yes, I do.
And Donald Trump
and so do many in our intelligence community.
And Donald Trump knew about it.
So they didn't.
And Donald Trump knew about it.
So
I don't think they did. No.
Okay.
And Donald Trump knew about it, and he neglected bringing that up to Vladimir Putin.
Well, he just admitted it. He didn't.
Because it's not real, Brian.
It's not real according to who?
It didn't take
place. There are
place.
people in our intelligence that claim that it is real. Where are you getting that from?
And there are people in our intelligence that claim it's not real. It's kind of like COVID-19. Some doctors think that it's one thing.
So you don't think the president should bring it up?
It's a different thing.
Okay, so let me.
I mean, Brian, if
you said a lot of things there, so if I can respond to it.
If the intelligence isn't there people actually think that Donald Trump should not have been briefed about it because it wasn't that big of a deal, because it was kind of a non-issue.
Not a big deal.
Then why would he bring that up to Vladimir Putin?
Okay, so
why would he have to have that conversation with him?
All right.
I understand you want to attack him. You constantly want to attack him. But it was something like this. It's
okay. So let me start from square one, because you said a lot of things there.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't even know why you would inject Doug Basham into this conversation, and I don't know
because Basham
if I could
called
just
Trump,
finish.
because Basham on our show twice called Trump a traitor to the United States for not confronting Vladimir Putin about Russia. He's done it twice.
Okay, so
that's why I brought that up.
So if I could just finish,
and he's the only liberal talk host in Las Vegas or in Nevada, but I'm not sure that's the case anymore. That being said, all right, please finish.
So once again, you're bringing up the fact that you think I'm liberal, and you're just going on a personal attack instead of talking about the meat business.
I'm not personally
no, you have the right to do that.
I'm not personally attacking you at all.
You have the right to do that. That's fine. If you want to go down that route, that's fine. I'm going to stick to the meat and potatoes of the story.
I'm just saying, you and Doug Basham, you seem to share.
Can I respond now?
A lot of the same opinions.
Can I respond now? And you know what? That's just so unfair. That would be like me saying you share the same opinions of QAnon. Okay, a right-wing extremist group.
No, it's
but
not.
You know what? I wouldn't do that, JD.
Is Doug Basham?
I wouldn't do that.
Is he an extremist?
I could say that you.
I don't think he's an extremist.
You know what? I'm offended when you make statements like that. That would be like me saying you share the same view as right-wing nut jobs in this country. But you know what? I'm not going to do that, because I'm not going to go down that route. You know why? Because I'm going to talk about the meat and potatoes of this story, unlike you who want to call me a liberal. The meat and potatoes of that, there are plenty of people. Can I talk for 10 seconds? Okay, please. You got fired up earlier in the show. Now I'm fired up. Because I can't stand it when you do that, and I can't stand when anybody does that. When they want to label me because I care about our troops. If I can finish, please.
You don't think Donald Trump cares about our troops?
Can I please talk for 15 seconds without you interrupting me? Thank you, because you named 8 things and you rolled off 8 things. Another, accusing me of a liberal, saying I'm like Doug Basham, and all these other things. There you go again, interrupting me. Every 5 seconds. You got to let me finish, JD. You got to let me finish, man. There are people in the intelligence community. Some are not going to agree, or people are going to agree, people are going to disagree. But there are some in the intelligence community that believe this story is a real story, and at the very least, Donald Trump should have brought it up with Vladimir Putin. Now, in the intelligence community, we've had Seth Moulton on, and people that Dina Titus, people that actually know what's going on.
People that dislike Donald Trump. People that want to see Donald Trump out of office. People that are biased against Donald Trump.
So they're biased, so they're lying. Okay. So here's what I say. I don't think it's out of the realm for me to say it might have not been a horrible idea for the President of the United States to at least bring it up with Vladimir Putin. And as far as your comments about, I think that Vladimir Putin's his lapdog and all these other things, the man has never said one negative thing about the evil, murderous dictator that is Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump went there on a stage and agreed with Vladimir Putin when Putin said he did not interfere in the elections, that Russia did not interfere, even though our own intelligence, and everybody agrees in this country, it has been verified that Russia did interfere. But he said he believed Vladimir Putin of our own intelligence. I am stating facts here, and it is not out of the realm if we all could agree here, for him to actually just bring it up with Vladimir Putin and talk about it with him. And you know what? If you think I'm a liberal and I'm biased and because I feel like the president should have brought it up, then fine. Go ahead and call me a liberal and label me. Do it all you want, JD.
No, what I said is that you share the same mindset. You share the same opinion.
Which is logic. Which is logic and truth.
As the self-appointed only liberal talk show host in Nevada.
Okay, and
that's all I'm saying.
And I don't care.
Okay, that's fine.
I really don't care.
That's fine.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm my own person. I have my own mind. I have my own opinions. Unlike you, I'm not brainwashed by people. I have my own opinions.
Brainwashed
yes,
by
I
people.
think you're brainwashed.
Based on what?
Yes, I do.
Based on what?
Yes, I do. I think by QAnon and these other...
QAnon?
Yes, I do.
How am I brainwashed by QAnon,
I think
Brian?
you're brainwased. I do.
Based on what?
I do.
That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
You are labeling me a liberal.
The difference between me and you is I am a open Republican. And I'm totally fine with it. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to label me a liberal,
and the fact that
we can do that if you want.
The fact that I can't even tell you, because you're so offended by it, that I can't even tell you that you do share a lot of the same opinions as Doug Basham.
You know what I'm offended by? I'll tell you what I'm offended by.
That is a little wild to me.
I'll tell you what's wild, and I'll tell you what I'm offended by.
What are you offended by, Brian?
I'm offended that some of our intelligence tells us that Russia might have put a bounty on troops, and I am offended and I am disturbed that the President of the United States, in talks with Vladimir Putin, couldn't even bring it up, and I am offended that you don't think he even should have. That's what I am offended by.
Because he's getting conflicting intelligence,
That's
Brian.
the intelligence in everything in society. Everything is conflicting.
He's getting conflicting intelligence.
And you know what? And
he was told.
Let me explain to you how it works, okay?
That
When
this
it comes to
wasn't
intelligence,
a big enough deal to actually that this may not have been legitimate.
And
Brian.
I don't think you understand how this intelligence works, okay? There is not one thing that's ever come out by the intelligence that hasn't been disagreed upon. If you look it up, and anyone that is in Congress that is not biased would tell you, it happens all the time. It's never verified by everybody. There are discrepancies when it comes to intelligence. Never does everybody agree on it. That is not an excuse for the President of the United States to not bring it up. And I will say it again. If that makes me a liberal, then fine. Go ahead and label me a liberal. Let's take some phone calls at 702-257-5396. I did an hour earlier this week going after our governor. I've never heard you attack a Republican for more than 30 seconds.
That's
so
not
please
true.
don't say that I'm biased.
I have no problem. And Brian, again, I am an open Republican, though. There is a difference there, but
all
fine.
right. You're right. You attack Republicans all the time. 257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Frank. Frank, you're next on the Vegas Take. Frank, what's up?
What's up, Frank?
Hey, guys. My thing is 2 points. One, I know that President Trump cares about our troops because of when he took out Soleimani, he knew he was going to catch hell for that.
Absolutely.
So, and Brian, I understand that you think he should bring it up to Putin, but let's be honest. Is Putin, even if it's true, is Putin going to say, yes, we did? Oh, I forgot to tell you about that, Donald.
Well, here's what I'll say to that. Here's what I'll say to that, Frank, and I appreciate the phone call. I want the president to make an effort to look into it. I want the president, at the very minimum, to show that he cares and he's investigating and he's looking into it. That's all I want here. Do I expect Vladimir Putin to own up to it? Of course not. Of course I don't. But it's the same thing when President Trump was up there on a stage with Putin and Putin said, we didn't interfere in the elections. And Donald Trump took Vladimir Putin's word over our own intelligence. That is what I am offended by.